Okay, should be live. Everything should be running. I hope everyone watching is having a good day. I'm gonna fix the camera real quick. Here we go. So I'm not working on the kill team like last time. I'm actually going to be trying and get some work done on a art competition page I have. Rules for it: it has to be at least 2 miniatures, and it's got to be a diorama. So this is the main piece. I'm working on the second model, and I'm going to be doing the base for it, hopefully tonight as well. So yeah, for this guy, I've done most of the work on him. It's really just the arms and a little bit of touch up here and there. But I'm also going to focus on these arms tonight and yeah, every other little bit. So let's get started with that. With that being the case, I need to make up some new black for that. What has my older black paint? Oh, it's right beside it. I need that and my darkest gray. This quick little shake. Shake this one up as well. I'm gonna try and mix those two together. Don't make things falling over on me. Should probably pop it off and just start with whatever I can. Yeah, that might give me a little bit better light. That works much better. Well, I hope everyone's having a good evening. I've had a pretty relaxing day, I'd say. Nothing too crazy, just playing in the dirt with work. Or playing in the dirt at work. That's what I meant to say. And this time I was not able to be joined by any of my friends and co-hosts. So I'm going to see how I do solo. I'm going to try matching that same black underneath. best I can. Yeah, that makes sense. My thumb is right there. It's not all of it's going to be perfect. Paint's probably not going to stick to that too well, but I will deal with it. Got that first layer on. I'll go up and brighten this a little bit. Try to go from there. There we go. Don't need to do anything crazy, I think. So anyone that is watching, I am working on a art competition piece I have. I have until the end of this month to get it done. So I'm a little bit on crunch time for myself. I had this whole thing done and thought I'd be good. But then turns out that bodies for this competition, or dead bodies, count as terrain. So, and the minimum is 2 models. So I am quickly trying to work on a second model. Going to be this guy here, and build a base as well. So that is my plan for the night, is to get that set and done. So I had most of this guy ready beforehand. Now I'm trying to do the arms. This is a blade guard, part of a set that I've like just chain or magnet all the arms so I can switch different parts in and out. I really like the blade guards. They've become one of my like favorite models so far. I have to very quickly try and make the matte black look like the rest of the armor that I have. I'm trying to keep in mind also the amount of light, where the light's hitting on them all. Because I have it set up that light is hitting from this direction. I'm trying to focus most of my brightness on his left shoulder. Right here, so yeah, it'd be left if it was sitting where I was facing. Let's say for a quick little job, that went pretty good. Now I'm going to try doing the blue. Next rub. So I know initially I did a contrast blue on that, but I do not have time to do that. I guess I actually could tone it down with a different blue. Oh, no, this paint is feeling a little thick. I've not used this blue in a bit. That's worrisome. Don't explode on me. Oh. I'm gonna have to take some time and make sure that paint doesn't say bad. Don't need it to be the actual. Okay, let's see if I can actually mix these together. This is going to be such a watery paint. Yeah, it's a better blue. I'll use it. It is going to be watery. Okay. Use this brush. This will be what I need. Will that work? I think that'll work. Pop that off before I coat the whole damn thing. Gotta thicken that up a bit more. Yeah, that'll work. Trial and error, trial and error. That is all this has been. Just way too damn watery. I'll try to make it work. Maybe. There. Yeah, that's better. I'll be happier to work with that color and go from that darker and work my way up. What am I doing that blue? It's gotta be white for later. Just expect the whole damn thing to be blue. I ain't doing ultramarines here. Hope everyone's having a good evening so far. I'm having a good evening. See if I'm trying to think if there's anything. I've not had too much going on in my life. At least today-wise was kind of boring. Just work-wise. Someone just messaged me. Thank you. Yeah. Nothing much up personally. Thank you for complimenting on the painting. I am working on an art competition piece that I have to get done by the end of the month. I thought I'd be done with just this piece, so I thought all that done. And I've kind of procrastinated a little bit on getting the rest done. I found out beginning of last month that, oh, hey, dead bodies on dioramas count as terrain, not the model. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I have to make a whole new model and then add more on to the diorama. Which is fine. I'm going to hope I can get all that done tonight. I've gotten this guy most of the way. Well, I might actually have a co-host here tonight. I kind of feel bad. A buddy of mine, he just got back from a trip, and he is extremely tired. I'm telling him he doesn't have to hop on if he doesn't want to, but he might tonight. So, but for myself personally, I will admit my weekend, I was a little bit sad. I didn't really do anything much this past weekend, but Monday I went down to like the big city a bunch of my friends live at. Hung out with them Monday and played Magic the Gathering. They kind of do a Yankee swap thing for that, and I got to be a part of it for the first time this year. I drove, it's about an hour drive to get to where they live. And I drove all the way down there, got there, realized once I got there, oh, I forgot the cards for the person that I'm supposed to give them to. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just have to, like, give it to him another time and go from there. So, but I'll probably see him this weekend do it, but I wasn't the only one. I just kind of like, oh, the main reason why I'm down here, and I forgot it. Okay, sweet. So, I think that blue is pretty much dried. I made way too much blue paint for what I gotta do. So I think I can now add that blue in. Go from there. Nope, I don't want that one. I gotta put away what I'm not using. There we go. Any sort of painting projects that you guys are working on, or any big projects in general. I would love to hear about them. I have quite a few other projects that I want to work on in the near future. Yeah. Nice. Nice, nice. I haven't seen much in the way of orc models, but they do look hilarious to me, some of them. Good for you for getting into the hobby. Yeah, when I first started, when I first started painting and getting into it, it hit a bunch of feel-good factors, I would say, that I normally do. I like being creative when I can. I used to be a lot more creative when I was younger and build a lot of random projects. So this kind of helps me go through with that. Yeah, Forge World is expensive. There's one model from Forge World that I want to get. It is the Space Marine model. I think it's the Thunderhawk one. I want to get it just because I saw it in Space Marine 2 and it looks cool. I think I could kit bash something similar using a Space Wolf model that's going to go into Legacy and like a normal fighter. But I have no idea. Yeah, going back, I've only been in this hobby for about a year, a little bit over a year. And sometimes I don't feel like I've progressed that much until like it just hits me one day like, oh wow, I've come a really long way from where I was. I think that really hit for me when I started working on this piece I'm working on here, on how much I've learned and improved. Just every model that you work on helps you little by little. Until before you know it, you're kind of like, oh. I was going to say, like, oh, I'm in Golden Demon and doing all that, but I don't think I'll ever get into Golden Demon. But I definitely want to get into some other art competitions. There's one this month that I thought about going to. But I'm probably going to wait a little bit till I have more time. Yeah, so what I'm doing right now is to be very quick on all that, I'm trying to get these arms on this model to be about the same. I am roughly edge highlighting some blue up on just the edges on the pauldrons here, and any little extra raised bits. The color scheme I'm going with, I'm kind of painting my own chapter. I found it on like the Warhammer Homebrew Wiki They're called the Seraphim of the Abyss. They're a Dark Angel successor chapter. I picked them because I wanted to make my own homebrew chapter, something that lost their home world and they're fleet based, and I wanted to make them using like Dark Angel, Salamander, Space Wolf, and Iron Warrior, and it was just so much going on with that, and I am terrible at picking a color scheme. Even now I'm like, oh, I kind of want to switch or do something different, which is fine. That's how you grow, as you try new things. But yeah, I am trying to paint this up as quick as I possibly can right now to hopefully get this finished. But yeah, I'm just adding a little bit of blue in spots where I can, imagining where the light's coming from. So I have 2 desk lamps sitting on my table, and I usually do, because this is going to go here, I like to picture in my mind where the light's hitting it. So sometimes if I also need that little bit of extra visualization, I can't say the word, but I'll shut the light off, and that will help me, like, hey, where are the high spots? And like, I'll move the model around and just kind of be like, okay, this is how I want the light to hit it. This is what I need to do to make certain parts look better. Like where the highlight is, all that. You can do that. Somehow I can do it in my mind's eye well enough. So hopefully that explains what I'm kind of doing. I think I finished up with the blue for the most part. I will actually do proper edge highlighting. This is just kind of a shade, I guess. And now I need to move up to doing sword cloth, which I'm not sure what I do for that. I definitely got to get it. It's gonna be a little bit green. I gotta make it seem like he's also been fighting some Tyranids here. And these little white spots are my attempt at edge highlight. I might have to redo. But I think moving over to the metal. Don't break it, don't break it, don't break it. Moving over to the metal is the next thing I gotta do. So. Okay. This one. I gotta move this over to here. If I get to doing the rest of the base for these models, I will have to step away and spray paint. I just got buzzed by someone else, but yeah. Okay. I hope you guys are enjoying yourself. I hope everyone had a good weekend. You got to go out and do just something for yourself in general. As I get older, I realize how much I just need to do things for myself. Well, I'm glad you're having a good time. It's good to see you back here again, Slapman. Sadly, Bob and Mark aren't here this time, so you guys can't talk about corn dogs and mustard. And Mark might be joining me a bit later, though. It's up on his schedule. He's coming back from a trip, so he's a little bit tired, and I don't blame him if he wants to get rest. I know when I come back from a trip, I need a little bit of time just to kind of recenter myself. Hit that with silver as well. This is such a Poor brush. It has seen better days. Okay, Fat Man's. That is actually a good idea. I'm gonna steal that. I have a bin of like trash that I've been collecting for like. I want to build terrain and stuff like that when I have a chance. And sometimes like the randomest things I have laying around, I'll like collect. Oh. Let me see if I can grab it. Give me a sec. I found something at a flea market that I'm going to use for some terrain. So I found this random car part in a bin at a flea market. And I looked at it, I'm like, that looks like the perfect generator piece. Just spray paint it black, hit it with a little bit of grime here and there. And I think that would work out perfect for it. It's good solid, so it ain't gonna fall anywhere, but sometimes I just collect random junk like that. Needs to be silver. Not a generator per se. I don't know what type of car part it is. It was in a car part bin. But we will see how it turns out. Or maybe I'm... Well, yeah, it looks like a generator. It's going to be one on the tabletop. At some point, I got to build myself a kill team board. That's the next big project I have. I have a bunch of terrain pieces, and I want to build myself a kill team board, so when I can play with my friends, it'd be quick and easy to do. And it's not like any crazy pieces of terrain. I have like MDF terrain like this I got from a game store. I was switching out their stuff. I could use it as it is right now, but I want to paint it up. I really like the way European buildings look and all that. When I went to Ireland, and a couple friends have been to the UK, and also when I went to France, I've taken pictures, and I want to make a very stone... I want to make a mixture between like modern and historical cityscape. So I wanted to go through and like paint on stone bricks and stuff, and have like random wires sticking out here and there. One sec, I gotta go talk to the roommate for a sec. Okay, I'm back. My little guy was probably picking up every sort of damn thing that was being said. I live with my sister, and I had to catch up with her because she just got home with one of her friends, and yeah. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I was just reading chat. Usually, when I make brick, I use like little bits of sprue. I will cut a bunch out, and I've used it as here. These Chaos Marines have it. I've used it in basing as a little stone brick, which I have a short about on the channel. Okay, getting back to it. Silver. I was working on silver. You know what? I am thinking in my head. Normally I do gold for swords, but oh no, because it'd be silver blades over that. Ooh. No, I'll have this being silver. It is a pain to do as a base, I will admit. It is. Because I'll take corners on the sprue and I'll file them down to do little notches, but then trying to cut brick because pull this guy up again. That's not individual brick right there. That is one sprue that I've cut with a file, like this file, and then I've had to place the stone brick to match up with that. I like making unique bases. The bases tell part of the story. Oh, you can even see it here. There's some stone brick there. Oh. I got so many glasses of water on this table. It's dangerous. Got my computer down below. Let me apply it to him real quick. Okay, back to it. I will admit, as much as gold is very pretty and can look really nice on some models, take that off, I am more of a fan of silver. That's a good idea. I will have to try that. I just meant I like silver in general for like jewelry and stuff. I used to wear rings and I like the look of silver bands and that a bit more than gold. But it is also a hard metal to match certain gems with, because like my birth gem is emeralds. I like emeralds for that as well. But silver and green aren't. Well, no, Necrons does it well. Silver and green works well with Necrons. I've seen some cool ones with that. Okay. Is there any part in here that I also want silver? Maybe going to do it on that random little thing back here. I don't know if anyone can hear the roommates in the background. They're arguing about a rabbit. Okay. This might go quicker than I thought. Quick look. Okay. If I do get this done tonight, I will work on my friend's Chaos Marines, but I want to focus on this. Oh, yeah, I've used contrast paints before. I started with contrast paints. Actually, I used contrast paints on this guy for all the blues, and then I went up on regular paints. I use contrast paint also for the eyes as well. So like I do use it. I have a few. I mean, I've used the Black Templar one for the black before. It's not a bad one. I use Imperial Fist contrast paint for the eyes. And the Storm Fiend is what I've used with the cloaks. I have to give it a good shake because it builds sediment up in the bottom. If you got a pot that builds a lot of sediment from the paint on the bottom, add one of those ball bearing rings you can get from RE Painter or other things like that. That is a good one. This little model that I finished, I think this weekend. I did it all Sunday. I wanted to do short on it, but my phone being a cunt. I did contrast paint on it initially. I used this contrast paint on it because I want to make it look like a spooky skeleton. No spirit. I've seen one YouTuber do like a black to like light blue spooky skeleton one, and I wanted to try and copy that a little bit, but yeah. It still looks good. I wish I didn't add the contrast on the metal. It does make it look a little more dingy and dirty, but it had more of a rust look before. So, with that being done, the next big thing. Can I still use this? Yeah, I can, but it is. I'm going to add a little bit of water. Don't mind my arm. There we go. I've had water sit in my wet palette too long, and it gets a little bit hard and dry, so I add water, and it gets way too watery. Okay. That's way too much paint. Before I make a mistake. I'm going to be adding a very light brown to the rest of it. But I find contrast paints work really well when you do dry brushing. I should have tested the contrast with the Chaos Space Marines here and seeing how it turned out. Gone from there, so I actually rather use more darker brown. Other shelf. Yeah. Okay. I think I might be moving away from model stuff for a bit. I'll still be doing like painting videos and all that, but I have a couple in-person projects I want to do. I talked with a friend of mine, and he's willing to let me use his garage again for some of my build projects that I want to do. Because one of my other hobbies I do is I like doing blacksmithing, so heating up metal, forging it into different shapes and stuff. I've made a sword, was the last big project I did. I made the first sword, my first sword ever, and I learned a lot from it. Normally I make knives and stuff like that, but I've also made bottle openers. Was a really good learning project. I had to make a tool for that for myself. Like I had to make a hole punch, pretty much. Oh, that looks terrible. No. I'll hit that black later at some point. But I'm kind of itching to get back into it a little bit. But I have a cosplay I want to do. I have randomly some parts for it and some parts that I got to look up or find things for. I'm debating whether if I can either do a commissar or I can do an inquisitor. And I'm reading the Eisenhorn books right now, which are kind of like a good change up from what I have been doing. I listen to like Guard and Space Marine books a lot, but the Eisenhorn ones are fun, and he describes his clothes quite a bit, and I'm listening to it, I'm like, I have a lot of the similar clothes that they're kind of talking about. Not that I dress like I'm from 40K or anything like that, but just like, oh, I randomly have this style jacket. I have this style, like, get up. So I think that would be a fun, easy one to do, because eventually I want to make a Space Marine cosplay, which would be fun. Like, make my own suit of Space Marine armor. Not out of metal, but just, I don't know, foam and stuff like that eventually. Next step I gotta do is, let me hit one more thing with brown. But that'll definitely be a project I put on the channel. Yeah, if I made it out of metal and actually wore it, it'd be way too heavy for me to use. I'd have to scale it down a lot for myself. It would be cool. It'd be fun. Another friend of mine sent me what looks like a power armor suit from Fallout 3. That's for sale in, like, New York? Not somewhere in New York. I'll have to look again. And it's reasonable, but it's not going to be something I'll go out of my way to get. But I've seen people make that fully out of metal, and that one looks like it's been in the waste for a few decades. Okay. God, I'm just trying to think how heavy it'd be to make it out of metal. Make a 8-foot tall set of Primaris armor. I don't even get started on like Gravis or Terminator armor. You would have to be a Space Marine to wear it. I do want to make the Power Hammer from Space Marine 2. That is my favorite weapon to use. Well, I like playing the Assault class and then going from and using that hammer. Oh, it's so good. It's so much fun. With that being said, yeah, can I do the gold? I think I'll move to doing gold next. And then do all the cloth. So we're going to use 3D gold. I know the next video I post on this channel is going to be the kill team models that I made. I mean, these, I don't know why this, all metallic metals I've used just get so much material on the tip of them. And it's just easier instead of like shaking and squirting it. Just take it off the bottle. And it happens when I shake it, so I don't know if it means it's too liquidy or what's going on. Yeah, I was thinking of making like a power sword. Not like an official, like it is a power sword, but try making another sword again. And other things I want to try, like, I'd probably buy a Nerf gun and try to make it look like a sci-fi gun from 40K. Can make the Inquisitor's rosette. I've been thinking about how to do that. I'd probably buy a piece of brass and like layer it up a little bit. I want to make some wax seal stamps, and I've wanted to make a couple for a while, so I could do that with brass and like a Dremel tool and make a Inquisitor one or other things like that. So it's not just metal working I could do. Like I want to try other things. Like I can sew. I can do a little bit of hand sewing, not anything crazy. Like I can't make garments, but I can patch clothes. I could try making a breastplate and stuff like that, but I never made actual armor before. That would be a first. I did make a shield. If you know, like the big semi trucks that haul trailers in the US, I think it was a Hubcat. I don't know what it went to exactly, but it was a 3-foot diameter wide like piece of steel, cut it into the shape of a shield, and put straps and welded like a handle to it. That was back in high school. Also in shop class, I made myself like the Assassin's Creed blade from Assassin's Creed 3. I made Connor style. Back when Assassin's Creed used to be a lot more popular. I still have that somewhere laying around, but I wanted to try just other skills than just metalworking. I can do a little bit of woodworking just from using power tools with my job and all that. It's not a thing I enjoy doing. Definitely want to open an Etsy store at some point and like sell some of the metal craft projects I make. Just small stuff, nothing crazy. Is that it for... I think on the body that is it for gold. Yeah, mini painting's been a good skill for me to pick up and learn, because I've had to look at like the world a little bit differently after doing it, not to sound too so I was just read chat. Don't ever say you're not smart enough to do something. Like, I want to try making a video game at some point, just for the hell of it, to pick up a skill in coding. Maybe I'll try making a VTuber model. Like, I'm a PNG right now, but there's things I want to try, but I haven't, just because I don't feel like I'm good enough for it. And a YouTuber named Pirate Software, he makes some really good inspirational stuff, and he says just make a bet with yourself. Like, try something for 3 months, and I'm kind of butchering it, but to summarize it, it's if you doubt that you can do something, make a bet with yourself and try for 3 months. And if you still at the end of it think that you're not good enough for it, then look at what you've completed in those 3 months. Pretty much just summing up is, if you try a skill and you learn some little things from it, you can then take what you've learned from it as a starting point. Patience is definitely a thing I've had to learn. I'm a very much quick, satisfied person. Like, with painting, I've had to learn patience, because I went to use contrast paints thinking that was going to be my, like, solve for everything. I'll paint all my models with contrast paint and things will go quick and easy. But then it still takes time. You still have to learn, or you still have to add a bit to it. But instead of taking 6 hours to put all my heart into one model, it now takes me like 4 to 3 to actually make a decent looking model. Not like to do a whole squad, to take each step takes a couple bit of time. And then all I'm just trying to say is, go learn a skill, always bet on yourself. The worst thing you're going to do is improve yourself. I might try that one day, trying to paint a model in an hour or less. You can do it. But I don't disagree with that, because everyone, I mean, when you do your model, if you're happy with it at the end of the day, then that's all that matters. Like I said, I built this guy and had him painted within, including building, 4 hours? Probably 3. Nice. for all those new people that are here, I am working on an art competition piece that I got to get done before the end of the month. And I thought I was done when I just had this guy. And then I was told, dead bodies count as terrain. So I'm now working on this model here. And I'm going to try taking this to hopefully build the rest of it and have it done. Let me see what you're saying, Slapman. Before contrast paints, I'm going back to say, for 20 years, I get 3 shades, same color, and a glaze highlight, or black, or white. Yeah, I definitely agree. I used to take like a bunch of different paints and try to shade and highlight over it. And then contrast paints, I was like, oh, I can get this quickly done in less time. I probably should do them all in contrast paint, but I don't want to say it's like parade style. Maybe I do them more in parade style. Next, I'm going to work on the cloth, and then I gotta do edge highlighting. Yeah, I'm gonna hit these guys with a little bit of beige first, and then white, and then I gotta hit them with green. Make it look like the blood from the Tyranid that's on the blade, or on the cloth. Okay, let's see if you'll actually go through or if you're gonna be a pain. Nope, it's gonna be pain. I think I've clogged paint in this bottle. I don't know where, so I have to like wiggle some of the tops off just to get paint. Which is annoying, so I'll take my sacrificial paintbrush and scoop some paint out. That's more than enough. I do have an airbrush as well at some point that I gotta learn how to use a bit better. Because I think if I based everything black and then did a, I know people call it zenithal, but I'd just say hit it with like a white paint, like speed paint, and then contrast over it, that would get it done, a lot of them done really well, and then just do one layer on top. Yeah, I like bought myself this, I'll pull it up here, I bought myself this cheap $20 airbrush. I really want to use it just more for the terrain than I do the models. I'm going to switch to a different brush. Can I do this one? Yeah, we can use this one. For me, spacing is also a big thing. That $20 one just sits comfortably on my desk and has been this whole time. To build a box for it, though, is different because you will get paint splatter. I need to work on mixing my paint a bit better because I did the first round of painting with it just white, and my white is sat for so long it got thick, so I had to mix it. Like, I made it almost way too thin and would run out really quick. So I got to spend some time actually messing with it, going through. I got nervous with an airbrush just because of the maintenance with it, but I figured I'm going to start cheap before I spend like the $200 on a expensive airbrush. Before I hit the model. Yeah, it is a custom chapter. I'm working on an art competition piece right now. But I found on the, it's a homebrew website. What do I got an ad? Hold on. Give me a sec. Yeah, I'm working on a custom Space Marine chapter. They're called the Seraphim of the Abyss. Okay, is that done? That's done. Yeah, they're called the Seraphim of the Abyss. They're a Dark Angel successor chapter. I thought they were official until I realized, oh, it's a homebrew website I'm on. But I'm happy to use it. It hits what I was looking for in a chapter. I like the Dark Angels. They're one of my 4 favorite Space Marine chapters. My 4 being Salamanders, Space Wolves, and Iron Warriors. Space Wolves a little bit less just nowadays. I like the Viking aesthetic. I do my favorite space one of my favorite Space Marine books is a Space Wolf book. But I've not listened to many more Space Marine books in a while. I've moved away from those, but yeah, it is a custom chapter. This is an art competition piece I'm working on. So I have until the end of the month to get it done. So I'm trying to get hopefully this model done, and then I can start doing the base. I will have to walk away at some point just to spray paint the base to then start painting, and the base is probably going to take me a whole other stream to do. But yeah, it is a Blade Guard vet that I'm painting, and then I have a Space Marine captain with a relic shield and a power sword. This has become my new favorite model, the Space Marine captain with a relic shield. I grew up being a fantasy kid, growing up as a dinosaur and fantasy kid. You'd think I would like Age of Sigmar more. And I do have some Age of Sigmar models. But I like 40k a little bit more than I do Age of Sigmar. That has been more my fancy. Those are all good chapters. I love some of the Death Card models that are out now. Although I'm trying to think. I only like it. There's one Death Card character I like. Yeah, I'm trying to think. During the Horus Heresy, I know a bunch of the loyalist traders were put onto a planet and then bombarded. There's a Death Guard dreadnought that I'm thinking of, and he was with like either a captain or a sergeant, and they pretty much blew themselves up before this like disease could kill them. I'm back. Yeah, I will agree. I know, that's what I'm thinking of was when they virus bombed the planet. I haven't read the Horus Heresy yet. I've only read one book, and that's Valdor, Birth of the Imperium. And I read it for Valdor. I like Custodes. They are the only army I have fully, completely painted. Because they are an easy scheme to do. I actually based my paint scheme off of the... I'm trying to remember Fantasy's name of them. The Stormcast. I based them off the Stormcast models. So they're gold, blue. They're gold and blue. Actually, no, there is a second Horus Heresy book I read, and it was a Dark Angel book, because I wanted to learn more about the Dark Angels. It felt like a slog to get through that book, and it was during, like, the Great Crusade. So it was, like, early on. I can't really look at the book, because I have to, like, get my phone and look at my library that way. I know at some point I will read the Horus Heresy. It's just so many books. And I'm just kind of reading what I want. If I read Horus Heresy, I'm probably going to be reading Iron Warrior books, maybe some Salamander ones, and some Dark Angel ones. But I should read it all for the story. The thing is, like, I know how the story ends. I'm reading it for the information that, like, you know how the ride ends, but I want all the context and information that goes with it. So, it's a lot of books. At some point I will read them. I'm going to hit that with one more layer of this beige. Try to get as much black covered as possible. And then move up from there. Okay, I gotta do the purity seals now. Double checking. Does he only got one purity seal? He does. I'll have to look up that character after stream, because I don't know him off the top of my head. Nice. This is turning out okay. Okay, cloth is done. I think the next thing I should do the seal on there, but I just don't want to pull the red out for one darn thing. So I think I will move. Tempted to go and do edge highlighting. You know, I don't think I have to do much on this guy. It'd be mostly there. I think I'm going to pull out the greens. I'm also going to pull out the gunmetal and hit it with the sword. I have a thing I started doing with the swords I like doing. I like taking a slightly darker silver and just hitting it slightly where it's going to be more shaded to give the blades a bit of a used and contrast look, because when I've looked at the blade, it's never just one good clear sheen across. You do see a little bit of light change. I had way too much paint on this. It's not a crazy difference, but I could then hit it again with a plate metal just along the edge and then make it pop. I did it on this guy. I did the plate metal on the edge, and then yeah, I did all of his armor in the gunmetal to give it a more dingy look, and then I dry rushed white silver on top, just to make it pop a little bit. Okay, so that's I'm done with that. I'll go away. Moving on to the next one. What is the next? I did say greens. I gotta put some paints away and move over to doing the greens. Try to keep my workspace organized the best I can, but it is not easy. This has been here for a bit. I'm more talking about the paints and stuff, trying to take care of that stuff. Okay. Here we go. Try to use this up best as I can. I have not used... I started painting salamanders to begin with. I can clean this desk to be really good, but because I sit here almost every evening doing stuff with it, it is disorganized. So, what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be hitting the cloth here, because he's been cleaning the blade, and I'm going to try making it green to be like the Tyranid blood has been coming through, which, to be honest, this cloth would most likely be destroyed if it was actually hit with Tyranid blood, because I'm pretty sure Tyranid blood's acidic. Yeah, I'll go in spurts when it comes to painting. With Warhammer, I'll like paint a lot all of a sudden, and then I will stop for a while and start doing other things, and then I'll start doing it again. I have a problem. I think like most people in the Warhammer, we are always buying models and not really building all of them as we should. I have three armies at 1,000 points. 2 of them I gotta build, and then I have Space Marines that are easily over 2,000 points that aren't even fully painted, and not all of them built. And at some point, I'll do it. I hold off on it because I always think like, oh, I can do a video with it. I can do a video with this box of models. I can do a video with that. And it just kind of builds up where I just need to paint for myself. So that's just how it's slowly built in this whole cacophony of more models than I know what to do with. You know what I can also do as well? I can make the bottom part of this blade here be a little bit green to show that he hasn't actually cleaned that part of the blade yet. It's these small details that add to the models. Set this in my finger just like that. I'm actually kind of liking how this cloth's turning out. Like, it looks, to me, like a dirty piece of cloth. Like, this has been in Nurgle's realm for a little bit. Although if it was in Nurgle's realm, it would probably be green and brown and a few other colors. A few other unmentionable things. I know this is a power sword and they actually like sizzle off pretty much burn material. But I like to think there's just so much stuff that it just hasn't done that yet. I gotta sit down. Let's see if I can get this one to work. One painting method I haven't really done yet, just because my paint dries so fast, is glazing. I want to try glazing at some point. And see how well that turns out. And I'm just going in with a lighter green now and hitting some more raised areas, and I'll go in with a different... I'm sure it's easy. My paint dries once it gets on the model within like 2 seconds. So I don't have a chance to glaze because I'm usually working on the whole model, so I have to like... If I did like each little part individually quickly enough, then yeah, I probably could glaze it. But things just dry so quick that it gets difficult. And that's humidity and moisture in the air affect that. But yeah, I'm just going up from green skin from Army Painter, and I'm using Eternal Hunt right now. It's a very slight change. I can also add some water to make it, I think, glaze a bit better. And then the next paint that I'm going to use is more yellowish green. It's going to be Emerald Forest. Be the next one I use. I'm going to hit up here a little bit. Oh, the screen's black? Oh, damn! Did my phone die? I forgot to plug in my phone. That's one of the things I meant to do in the beginning. That is on me. Damn, it's going to be a few minutes. I'm going to have to reset up stream. Okay, we're going to switch to BRB real quick. Well, that has a sec. Come on. Yeah, that's on me. It'll be quick, though. it will be quick. Where were we at? Okay. Got it plugged in, turn back on. I'm setting it back up now. Damn, yeah, that's usually the first thing I make sure happens. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I found that on Stream Elements. I have it's part of a pack. It's like a pixel thing. You enjoy the rest of your night, Slapman. Get some rest. But yeah, I have a couple. I have like a starting soon one. I'll quickly just switch to it. Starting soon is this. Then we got a BRB, and then ending stream, and then this. So I wanted to make something like moving and kind of entertaining before the stream started. I would have caught on eventually with the stream being dead, because I do see it, but it's delayed for me, so that would have been way longer for you guys. But now I'm doing the final color. I hope that's too much paint, but I can make that work. Yeah, that is such a drastic green from the rest. I'm gonna have to take the other greens and fade it. Any tips for beginners? I still feel like a beginner myself, honestly, because I've only been doing this a year. The easiest one that I can say is practice. Like, just paint. Paint as much as you can. There are videos out there you can watch, but for myself, it was just sitting at the desk and learning how to like paint. Learning, I don't want to say color theory, but learning highlights and other things like that. I was talking about this earlier. I have two, in quote, cheap desk lamps, but I usually picture in my mind's eye like where the light hits. But if I want a reference for where I want the light to hit. So with this model, I was picturing the light hitting from this direction. And to give you a actual example, I shut this one off. Wherever the shadow would hit, that's going to be my darkest spot. And then where the light hits is going to be my more brighter sections. And learning different paint contrasts. I'm glad there's a bunch of brand new people here and are asking me tips, because like I said, I still feel brand new myself, but I use Army Painter paints and they kind of show you the different gradients. Now you don't have to use these because there's many different kinds of paints. But learning lighting is a big one. Practice is the number one. Like, that's the first one in my mind. And then, because you're not going to get any better unless you practice and you start doing these techniques that you're seeing other people do. Because there's 101 ways to do something. And everyone does it different. I know what quote I was thinking about, but it boils down to everyone does something different. I tried to copy so many people in the beginning that I wanted to paint a certain way, and then I just had to learn my own way. I'm sorry if that doesn't really answer your questions. I've really only hit 2 tip-wise because it's difficult. It's okay to use like cheap brushes too. I was going to do a video on this, but I had a hard time like talking about the tips. But I've used these cheap $9 pack brushes from like Marshalls and stuff for a long time, and they're fine to use. You use them for a bit. It's depending on like what you do for work and stuff. Think of like your tools differently. Like I work in construction, so I would consider these brushes to be more like a piece of machinery, like an excavator, stuff like that. It will get the job done, but it can't do the precise stuff. Then when I moved up to like a better brush that holds its tip better or that holds paint better, that's like moving up to a shovel. In reality, for me, you can do everything with one brush. I do other ones just in case. So like, you might only really need 2 brushes. A basing brush and then like a detail one. It's all different and weird. But yeah, for me, lighting, painting, contrast is a good way. So when I started with dry brushing and then using contrast paints. Those help show you what you need to highlight and stuff when you get around to it. OPR minis. I don't know that brand. I'm very new to the whole like mini painting community stuff. Like, I play D&D. I've never painted D&D minis before until now. Oh, one page rules. I've heard about that. That actually seems really interesting and something I want to try. Like 1 page rules. I don't really like how those green spots turned out. Good on you for having a 3D printer. I want to get one eventually, but I've just spent more money on models. So I've spent thousands of dollars on Warhammer models when I could have just spent that money on a 3D printer and spent less money. Let's see if I can do this as a wood glaze. The whole base of it. That's so much water on there. Oh, you're welcome. Sometimes I need to see things visually for myself. Sometimes I can see it in my head, but when I'm starting something out, I need to physically see it or do it myself. I have a hard time explaining things to people. Or just explaining like my thought process in general. So I tried to teach a friend once how to blacksmith, and trying to tell him like you have to hit the metal in a certain way. I was getting frustrated. I'm like, I know I'm getting frustrated. Let me physically do this to show you, because I'm better at as doing it than explaining it to you while you're doing it. So that's how I've had to learn how to like teach people in a way. Okay, I'm gonna consider that done for the sword. I think this, though, this was more what I was trying to go for with the sword, and I don't think it turned out as well as I hoped. This looks like Nurgle's snot rag. I would say a good example with the contrast one. These cloaks. I hit all the cloaks with white paint to begin with, or when they were dry brushed. And then I took a contrast paint, and the one I used for these is this contrast paint, the Stormfiend one. It's unmixed. It's my favorite color. I thought it was a very nice, like, more gemmy blue. So I work in landscaping and a little bit in construction, so I understand tradesman-wise. My father can explain things, but I'm trying to like think. He can explain it, most people can understand it. I don't understand it unless I'm doing it. Okay. With that being said and done, I'm going to try edge highlighting. I'm going to try it. Okay. I was using as a edge highlight this frost blue, because then when I hit it with a blue wash, it tones it down. Like this guy, all on the black armor, like on the corner here and here on top of the helmet, it's hit with this and then toned down. But I think I need to do something different or not do as much paint, because on this guy I did it too thick. Actually, you know what I will do? I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna do the blues again, try and bring them up in color. Hopefully this is not too much paint. Okay. A little bit too much there in the beginning, but let's try. Yeah, this is definitely what's needed. I'm just trying to hit the edge with this nice brighter blue. This has become one of my favorite blues to use. I'm actually gonna hit this a little bit more, even though I don't really have to. But I hope everyone here is having a good day. I am glad you're all here watching me try to paint. My sister's dog is barking in the background. I don't know if anyone can hear or not. He's trying to play with his little brother. He's a bit of a loudmouth when it comes to it. Best of luck to you with that. I don't know. I don't know if I could do 1,000 points in 5 days. I would have to tell myself it's okay to not have the models at the quality I want, or I'm trying to think of the other word. I don't know. I would have to tell myself, like, hey, you don't need to be a perfectionist. That's what it is. I spend too much time being a perfectionist on models sometimes, and it doesn't work for me in the long run. Okay. Got one last spot to hit. I really gotta be careful touching the model with my finger. It's taking paint off in certain parts. And that is dangerous. Normally, I prefer to put them on my little stand here, but because I want to be able to take these guys off the bases and actually use them in battle or in games, I have to be a little... I have to think of different ways of doing it. I had one comment on a short. God, I want to find it and quote it properly, but it summarizes being like, brother, get some gloves. That's pretty much what it boiled down to. And I should. Oop, that's not good. My fingers are covered in that paint. Yeah, that is a very good, like, thing to do. If I could just base coat and then just do, like, a one shade higher in color, if that makes sense. So if I was going from, like, the green skin, I don't think I would do the Emerald Hunt. I'd probably jump it up. No, that's not... Yeah, I would do the green skin up into the wild green, and that would be like enough for a color difference. Put those away real quick. I'm avoiding doing the red on the seal just because my red is really chunky. It sat too long. And to go and make a whole... empty out the red just for one little color or one little spot is annoying. It's so thick on this, it doesn't even shake. I add water to it. And now it's just like red water. It's just a really watery color. Oh, it's too much paint. It's not even going to look as red as I hope. Feels like it's even beyond a contrast paint. It's more like a glaze. So I'm just going to leave that dot right there and try to go from there. At some point, I do have to drill his foot so I can magnet it to the base. Okay. Black edge highlighting. How do I want to go about doing this? This is the hard part of doing black. Sometimes I wish I stuck with doing the salamander colors. I'm thinking at the moment. Do I want to use a gray, or do I want to try doing it in the frost blue? Blood Angels seem cool. What parts of the models confuse you? Because I'm kind of curious. I don't know a lot about Blood Angels, but is it some of them that have wings? Is it how like different models are different colors depending on their place in the Blood Angels? going to try edge highlighting with the frost color again. See if I can actually get it. Yeah, there's a couple chapters like that. Salamanders have a specific character. Dark Angels is a good example. So with Dark Angels, they have specific units because they're more night themed. So some of their units are to that. It's also kind of like a lore thing as well. So Inner Circle Companions is the example I'm going to think about here. They're a specific Dark Angel unit, and they're supposed to be like the... Inner Circle is like how the CIA, or... I don't know if CIA is the right word, but the right analog. They're a secret group within the Space Marine chapter. And they can come from any rank and file in the chapter. And they need to be hidden, because if anyone knew who they were, they couldn't collect information from the people within it, because they like to keep secrets and stuff, because their biggest secret is during the end of the Horus Heresy, half their chapter attacked themselves and blew up. Going to the Blood Angels, I know the Sangagori Guard, I just butchered that word, but they have a unit that is with wings. I don't know if that unit with the wings is supposed to be like the Sangrenor, which is a specific entity that will show up and help in battle. It's supposed to be like, I don't know if they're the Spirit of Sanguinius or something like that, or something similar. I mean, at the end of the day, GW makes these specific models. You just found out Dante has a model, or that the Sanguinor has a model? Because the reason why Dante has a model is he's like the chapter master of the Blood Angels. And because GW wants to make money off you, they made their own special model for it. Same thing with like the Dark Angels as well. So most of the founding chapters have models, have their chapter masters models for. Ultramarines have Calgar. Dark Angels have... I know his name. I'm drawing a blank on it. I know it starts with an A. I want to say Azazel, but it's not what it is. It's something else. I don't... Oh, yeah. Space Wolves also have one. The guy that now... His unit... His model used to be... It was either he could walk on his own or get pulled by, like, wolves. Salamanders have a guy that I might grab at some point. I just haven't decided yet. I kind of started rambling for a second, but the whole point of what I was trying to say is the founding, like, chapters. They want to make their chapter masters be a model that you can buy. Because you can say, oh, hey, he's a part of my army. and then you would spend that money on that model. And GW would be like, yes, I will take your money. But going back to like Dante, I do want to read The Devastation of Baal at some point. I heard a summary from it with Izander and Coda because they did like a Devastation of Baal. I think it was on Patreon is what they talked about it with. And I enjoyed that a lot. It made me want to get the book and read it. But I haven't gone around to it yet. I'm currently listening to the Eisenhorn books. I'm on book 2, and I have like 6 more hours to go in the book. And because I'm listening to the Eisenhorn books, I want to make a Inquisitor or Commissar outfit for myself. Because I think I have a lot of... I think I have most of the clothes to do it, but I can make a couple extra things for myself. Okay. For all the new people that are here and might be kind of curious what I'm doing, I have until the end of the month to finish a art competition piece. I thought I was done with just this piece here. Because at Moon, you need like 2 models for the piece, and it has to be blood and all that stuff. Well, I'm like, okay, I'll do a dead Tyranid at this Space Marine captain's feet. Well, then I was told that bodies only count as terrain. So I'm like, oh, okay. And now I'm working on this guy here to hopefully go beside him, and then I got to build a base for him as well. So this will also be off-stream work, but I figured instead of working on my friend's kill team, I'm going to be working on this model. I will be posting this model on Instagram when it's done, because I have to for the competition. It's a Instagram art competition I joined, or I got asked to join. I've had fun with it. I initially wasn't going to do this competition. I got invited to it back in March, and I was going to say no, but then I was talking with some friends and thinking it over, and I'm like, it wouldn't... What do I have to lose by doing this competition? And really nothing. And I just started painting and building and realized how much my skills have actually improved by doing something like this. Stepping out of my comfort zone and trying something different. Yeah, I think that's what I'm a part of. I can go to Instagram and read off the channel names that are doing it. And for anyone that's interested in going to Instagram and seeing my page, it's the same as my YouTube channel name. I'm Swampcraft on Instagram. I'm Swampcraft on YouTube. I don't post as much on Instagram as I used to, just because I don't always finish models. I like to post my finished models on there, but I really should be posting my work in project stuff as well. I'm messing this part up, and I know I am, but I'm going to go with it. Because sometimes even when you mess something up, it actually turns out a lot better than you thought. That's another YouTuber I heard from say that, and I do agree with that. But yeah, going back a step, I listen to audiobooks while at work, at least when I can. And I've finished within this year like 20 or something books from it. The first one being The Lion, Son of the Forest. I just listened to that one again. And I'm glad I listened to it again because it was a good refresher. But at the same time also be like, oh, I know like these characters. I know what's going to happen to them. But I still felt the same way I did at the end of the book as I did the first time. Oh, my top just disappeared. Let's see. Just checking through, looking at stuff. Okay, I edge highlighted that. Now I gotta do the red again. Give me some actual red paint. Certainly does make the day fly by listening to an audiobook. I've been recommended like other audiobooks from different genres from friends and stuff, and I should listen to them. Okay, I think what next I have to edge highlight is the brown, and then do a bit of cleanup. And then I can hit this guy with a wash. And we will be good. Luckily, I already have a lighter brown sitting off to the side. That is almost way too brown to jump up. Okay. I do, at some point, want to do a competition for myself. Whether it be like a build a Space Marine army within 40 days, or what's another one? Like how, who was doing it? Someone was said they were going to do 2 armies of 1,000 points in 5 days. I think that was you, Dorzo. I'll have to go. Oh yeah, it definitely was you. Doing a competition or doing a thing like that for myself to try and get better. Okay, because it's such a light brown on that. Oh no, it's actually kind of. It's blending a little bit. I'm going to see if I can mix these 2 colors together and maybe get a better brown. A lighter brown. Okay, let's see if this is better. Yeah, it's more like it. That's more like the brown I want to get. The other one is just way too bright for jumping up in color. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. If you can get you and a couple buddies to like paint all that. I have a couple friends that I play Magic with, and I'm getting them into Warhammer, or I'm trying to at least. They're already spending money on one expensive hobby. I don't know if they don't. I don't think they want to spend money on another one. But they all have a box, and we're all going to try Kill Team for the first time. And I've gone down a couple times. I've helped them like build and paint, or we've just sat together and like painted and build models together, and it's made it fun. It's just like a fun thing to do together. Although yesterday I was a part of a, so they do once a year a Yankee swap for Magic the Gathering. They'll draw people, and then they have to find a commander card. Oh, something just happened. I think I might have just gone a sub. That's what that noise means. Or something, I don't know. The little noise I know means something. But anyway. Oh god, don't make him paint a Titan. I've seen people try to complete that, and it's... Oh. They seem like a lot of work. I have a Knight that I want to do. I think it's the Rex version of the Knight model. Some point I will build and paint that. But to finish my story... Where was I with it? Yeah. So you pick a commander. Our budget's like $20. So you can buy either a really cheap commander, or you can buy a $20 like commander card. And most people go on the cheap side, and then you get cards that like will match with that, and then you give it to the person, and then they got to build a deck with it. So I had my cards here at my place, and it's an hour away to go meet up with them, and I thought I put it in my vehicle, drove all the way down there, realized once I got to my buddy's store that like, oh, I forgot my cards. I can run back and get them, but I won't be back till 9, and like, no. You can give them to your person at another time. I wasn't the only one that forgot their cards. Actually, another person lost the commander they were gonna give the cards to. Luckily enough, the person that I gotta give my cards to, he might be coming up this weekend, or I can just go down to his place and drop him off. It's easy anyway, but yeah, I am, but we'll see how it goes. Actually, that friend that I have to give the cards to, he's running his own YouTube channel. If you look up Game Vitamins, he is doing a Magic the Gathering YouTube channel, and he's done very, very well for himself. He's actually opening up his own store, and it's definitely a place that I will be going and checking out at some point. But not that he needs me to shout him out. I just want to like shout him out. Okay, with that being said, I'm now going to move over to white and do that symbol on his side. And then I think I got to hit everything with a wash. Maybe. I'm going to hit one more spot with blue. That's too much blue on that brush. I'm open up Stream Elements real quick and see what that noise was from earlier. I have it set up so that chat should appear on stream, but YouTube doesn't really like working with Stream Elements too much. So it is difficult. I gotta mess with it and try to get chat to appear, because I do want it to appear for everyone else. I know at some point I'll also be streaming on Twitch, but I want to wait until... I don't know, I got to that point. Okay. Yeah, white, staying focused. I'm done checking my other thing. Let's see if I can do this. I don't... Maybe chat knows the answer to this, but some of my paints have gone really chunky in them. Like, almost there's not enough moisture in them. Is there a way that you can fix that? I've added water inside them to try and hopefully get the paint to, like, mix a bit better, but some paints just hasn't really worked well with. And it's paints that I really don't use either, so I don't know if them sitting and not being used has caused that to be an issue. Those paints being my red, I have a ultramarine blue, and my white are the paints that have kind of gone chunky on me. I don't know if there's any other ones yet. I've been trying to use more of my paints, or I've been trying to use more of those paints in projects to maybe try and get that sorted. Ah, okay. Well, I guess I will just deal with the chunky paint. Because, I mean, I can scoop it out of the bottle and add water to it, and it becomes like it was before, but if it is just dry paint, I mean, I only use the red for the purity seals on anything. I don't have an army yet that needs all these other colors. I kind of buy colors as I need them. White actually hasn't gone as bad as I thought. Maybe it's kind of helped itself. Or fixed itself, but I will admit this. I do like these pauldrons that raise up more. I should find someone that can 3D print some pauldrons with specific designs for me. Because this chapter does have a symbol. It's like angel wings with a sword and a skull through it. And I've tried painting that before, and I've gotten close, like on this guy. It kind of, I mean, it's got the right shape of the wings. Tried to get the sword thing, but it did not turn out well at all. So I might just be using Dark Angel shoulder pads for the time being instead, or just doing like a sword with wings. I try to freehand as much as I can because it's a way of practicing for me. Like, if I freehand a symbol, I might do it bad, but then I get... Yeah, I'm sure I could find the file on, like, Mini Factory and stuff. But even though it's time consuming, it's a way of brush control. Painting it all myself and doing it. Which will help me in the long run, but it's just like, damn, that is tedious. Let's see if I can find the image real quick and I'll throw it up on stream, so bear with me for a sec. Move some stuff in real quick. Wait, do I have the image on my computer somewhere? I don't think so. Oh, okay. So for people that were here earlier, the website that I used to find this paint scheme was Warhammer 40,000 Homebrew Wiki. That's where I found this homebrew chapter that I'm using. And what I'm trying to find right now, there it is the shoulder pad image to show you how difficult it is to paint. Oh! Hello, Nick. Welcome! I was just talking about your channel and how you're doing the game store and stuff. Thank you for hopping in to the stream. I know you'll probably be gone within a second, but glad you stopped in. Bear with me for a sec. I'm trying to show everyone I want to show everyone this. This is what I tried to do on the shoulder of this guy. It did not turn out well whatsoever. Oh, you're welcome. I don't think me shouting out your channel is really going to do much. You are doing better than me. But I'm going to get that image off real quick and get back to painting. Oh yeah, I've been trying to freehand that image. And there's been some success. I can get the wing shape correct. I can kind of get a sword symbol. I can't do the skull. It's just so much white, and it's such a small space. So, all of that is done. I'm going to move over to doing a wash now. I will take this one real quick. And I need my crappy brush from earlier. I will actually hit this model with 2 different washes, to be fully honest. I hit it with a dark blue tone wash on all the black and blue parts where the armor is, and then I hit it with a strong tone on the blade and cloth, especially with the purity seals. It kind of gives it more... I want to try doing writing on them at some point with the purity seals, but it kind of like dirties them up or tinges it so that I don't really have to do any writing on them. Okay, starting from the top. This, sometimes I've done a wash and it helps a model, and sometimes I've done a wash and it's not helped a model. It's always been 50-50 for me depending on my paint scheme. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to do the eyes. I'll do the eyes after I'm done with the wash. Because I like to try and have the eyes do a glow effect. I'm trying to read how to say your name. Welcome to the stream. I hope you stick around. Yeah, but welcome to the stream. You caught me in the process of working on an art competition piece that I have to finish by the end of this month. And I've known about it since March. You know what's something I don't understand, and I don't think I ever will? I don't understand, like, the tactical symbols and all that stuff. Like, what is each Space Marine supposed to be? Like, how do I decide what's a close combat support? What do I decide that is, like, a battle line symbol? It's something I've never understood, and at some point I might add it to models, but I just leave that blank. I think my music just stopped. Okay. I've heard the word before. I'm not going to try saying it because I will butcher trying to say it. But I don't mind just calling you Commander. Commander is fine by me. I don't know how long you'll last here because you are a Xenos, but... I have not read any Tau books yet. I've only dealt with the Tau in one book. Nah, 2 books. I dealt with the Tau in a Kaivis Kane book. And that was the second time I've dealt with them. And that being said, I'm going to pop this off. Leave that to the side. But yeah, welcome everyone to the stream. I hope you're all having a good time. I'm having a good time. I am probably going to go until... I might do 10:30 tonight. Yeah, I understand that's what it means. I just can't seem to wrap my head around it. I also know, like, with the pauldrons, if you paint the edge of the pauldrons a certain way, it's supposed to mean they're a part of, like, first company, second company, third company. Like, I know with the Ultramarines, like, gold on the pauldron side means they're first company, and then you go down the color, but I don't know. They're my models. I'm going to paint them how I want. But if you truly are a Xenos, we got to call the Inquisition real quick. Get him in here. Actually, probably not. Because the Emperor wills it. I'm not going to disagree with the Emperor. I just can't wrap my head around it. I'm just a little guy. I'm just a blue little salamander guy painting Space Marines. Don't let my human flesh hands confuse you. Uh, I've only hopped in now with 10th edition. I've been in the hobby for like just over a year. I want to say less than a year, but it has been a year. This is a hobby I wish I knew about a lot sooner when I was younger, because maybe I would have had more people to do this with. It's difficult to convince your friends to do this, but it is an expensive hobby at the end of the day. And my friends are already in an expensive hobby to begin with. At some point I will. I will be honest. I didn't list the channel I'm using the music for. Normally I do. This time I didn't with the name. What's the name of it real quick? Arco Techna is the name of the channel. I probably butchered that as well. Go and support the channel. If they ever do reach out to me and tell me to stop using their music, I will stop. Because I want to have something in the background, but I don't have any like free playlists and stuff. And there's so many good artists out there that make amazing music. I don't know if me sharing their music really matters or not, but it's just, to me, I just want to like show my appreciation for what people make. Okay. Ah, good. So you do know about it. I discovered them like just before I was going to get into streaming. Because I wanted to find different like playlist channels and stuff like that, and I've just stuck with this one. Okay. I've honestly stuck with the same playlist every single stream now. I might have switched it up once, but I've just used the same one now. The first song in this playlist I think I like the most. There's a couple. It's more like techno stuff. In high school I used to listen to a lot of dubstep, then I switched more to like techno stuff, and I don't know what I eventually went to, but when I listen to music, it's less about the words or the beat and stuff like that, and it's it's what the music makes me feel at that moment is usually what makes me decide if I'm going to listen to something or not. Okay, so while that dries, I gotta pull up the next wash. I have so many different washes, but I only use 2. Okay, now I'm gonna hit it with a strong tone, and the only things that are getting strong tone washed are the gold, the brown. The leather and gold is what I hit with strong tone, and the paper. I will also do the cloth as well. I kind of have a wet palette. I mean, I made a free cheap one. This is what I'm using as a wet palette: a piece of Tupperware, and some. It's not parchment paper. I don't know what it is, and a paper towel. I like it because it does keep my paint wet a lot more. This I only use for metallic paints, the washes, and really liquid paints. That's all this is for, and this needs to be cleaned. This is like a couple months of not being cleaned. I did buy a wet palette now from Army Painter, and I do recommend it. I had an issue for a long time dealing with my paints drying out way too fast. And a wet palette changed that very quickly for me. So if those people that are like brand new to the hobby and were looking for tips, a wet palette is a tool that I would recommend as well for myself. It just saved me on like having to use more paint. Because like I was saying earlier, paint for me dries out very quickly, and I don't know why. I think it's just humidity and temperature for where I live, that I can't get it to stay wet for long enough. This is too much wash on there. My fear with using the washes is that it hides the edge highlighting I just did a little bit too much. So I have to like make sure I pull away. Oh, it's such a pain trying to get paint to stay. Okay. Oh, the hard part's gonna be, it's like I want to keep going with the painting and stuff, but the wash has to dry. I know I didn't do the gun handle. I'm leaving it the way it is. I would just paint it black, and I like to think. I haven't used a medium yet. I could buy medium. I think at some point I will. It's just for myself trying to be... I'm weird with money, is what I'm realizing. Like, I don't know, my logic with money doesn't always pan out correctly, but I will keep that in mind. I know I can get like the Army Painter medium, like a bigger bottle, not a little one, but that's like $30, and I'm like, I don't want to spend $30 on that. But then I can turn around and spend $35 on like one model, and I need to stop doing that. I know I made a mistake there. I might leave it, might not. Okay. Oh, I didn't hit the whole thing up top with that blue. Okay, I'm going to take a quick bathroom break. I appreciate you stopping in. And yeah, no worries. If people want to subscribe. If they want to like the video, like it. I am not going to push for that. It's up to people. If you enjoy my content, please stay. But I'm going to put on the be right back screen, and I'm going to use the bathroom. Go out there, stretch your legs, get some water, use the bathroom as well until I get back. Oh, look at you guys. Okay, I am back. What have I missed? Not much. Okay. I am back. Sorry for all those people that are new and were like, what's going on? Okay, let's get back to it. This is probably dried. Yeah, that's dried, I think, just enough. Another thing I want to do is I do want to paint on... So, I know these are campaign badges. I want to actually play a campaign game with these models and then paint on the proper campaign badge. That's why this is blank. I did this just for myself. I wanted to have it white, but I kind of also want to leave it blank. So, at some point I do want to do a campaign game with my friends. Like I was saying earlier, a couple of my friends I helped get them started in Warhammer. I gave each of them a gift card to our local store that sells Warhammer models. And I went with them. They picked out the first models. 2 of them already built it. 1 of them hasn't yet, but I'm not going to pressure him into it. He's busy doing his own stuff. Technically, I have 4 friends are into it now. 1 is into it more than some of the others. But the models they've gone, we got another Space Marine guy. We have a Dark Eldar. We have a Chaos Marine guy. He built his models and he gave them to me to paint because he likes building but doesn't like painting them too much. And the other guy went with Mechanicus. So we got a good variety. The armies that I have on hand is I have Space Marine, I have Custodes, I have Tyranids, and I have Guard. I currently have 1,000 points in Guard, Tyranid, and Custodes. Really, I have 2,000 points in Custodes because I just bought another 1,000 points that I was going to do a tournament for, but I'll shoot for next month. I'm not going to get around to having them built and done yet for that. And for other spare models I have like a Knight model. Because I want a big model just to like sit on a shelf. Eventually I want to have all my models in like diorama setups. Might get some of those boxes that do like put a squad in that box and then you can make them in a diorama. Or I'll build a special shelf for all the models. Close that and close that because I don't need those. Just checking some of my other social media stuff for myself, just because my phone is what is the camera right now. But yeah, I'm kind of. I think once I'm done with the Space Marines, the next one I wanted to do Tyranids this year. I was going to do like a big surprise of like, oh, I was building up to something big. But Cat's kind of out of the bag of that one at this point. And, oh, what else? I kind of want to build a Guard. There's like one thing for the Guard I want to build. I bought a Baneblade. And that was I think that was the 4th Guard model I bought. Was a Baneblade. Because I just want a really big tank. I might try it with a friend one day if he's got enough models. We'll do like a destroy game. And his only goal is to take out my Baneblade and a Knight. Just have that battle. I think that would be fun for me, just thematically story-wise. I just want that to be a thing. Okay, now that I have the eyes painted white, I'm going to hit it with a contrast paint. I use this Imperial Fist yellow for the eyes. It kind of gives a bit of an orangish look. And I want to try doing a little bit of an eye glow. I'm going to be very careful with this. I mean, yeah, it is more of a yellow. I do have a more orangey one that I could do. I'm okay with the contrast going past a little bit on the eyes because I want to do a slight glow effect, and with the contrast it allows that paint from underneath to also be there. It's not perfect, but it is good for what I need to do. Okay. Oh, I didn't do... Okay, good. It is still wet. It might be a little thick, but I forgot to do... Yeah, it's got a little bit thick. I forgot to do the wash on the sword and the blade here. Where are we at? I think after this, I can start working on the base for this guy. Which I know once I have that set up, I will have to run and spray paint that if I get there tonight. It's not the cleanest garag, but it's not supposed to be. It's cleaning up Xenoblood. Just got done slaying a bunch of Tyranids. Not everything they're going to have is clean. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Let's put that on there. Yeah. I might touch up that eyes. I don't know. I'm still like debating about touching up certain things here and there. Huh. Okay. Now that we are there, I do need to paint that rock that his foot's underneath at some point, but I'm going to turn this off. See how well... I guess I really didn't have to edge highlight on the sword scabbard and stuff if it's going to sit like this. On the table, I do. I'll turn this back on. Now we'll move over to this section. So initially I was going to do another Tyranid stuff coming off this, but I'm not going to. And this guy was going to sit here. But now I want him to sit just a bit back. I think I'll still go with my initial idea of having him sit here. And I'll just have to cut the base back here. Do I have a pen anywhere? I got a pencil. That's what I got. Okay. Initially, and it's very hard to see, I did mark where I wanted things to look and all that. But we are going to change it. Oh. Yeah, if I turn things like that, we'll go with that. Oh, this is the song that I like the beginning of. So we're going to mark just about there. And then I will take my knife here in the corner. It's not a sharp blade because I've used it to do the models and it's got super glue on it and all that, but it's fine. There we go. Okay. Now, I gotta move some stuff. I have to go to my little trash side, and I've used corkboard for all this stuff down here. I'm gonna reset how I want this guy to be, or I want his friend to be. I think we're going to leave it like that. Maybe set him back like here. Do that. And this guy can come off just about there. Make that be the mark. Now I can do this whole layer in corkboard as well. And that would work. Or I do have, and I was going to use it anyways, I have this terrain paint. It's like a very gritty paint. I was going to use that instead of doing my normal sand thing. So I think I'll build the back up a little bit to make it seem like the rest of this is higher back here. So I'm just going to tear some pieces off and fill in around it. Hard thing is I'm going to have to make sure this comes off. Forward, set that there. And then, yeah, we'll have that guy set there. So now, I think that will work. I'm going to pull this off, leave that there, and I should plug in a glue gun for this next step. Which drawer did I put it in? I don't know. I don't know what drawer I put my... Right, back in my other drawer. Okay, I'm done with the paint. One sec. Where is it? I want to put things away without it just sitting there and being more of a mess. Oh, it's right there. Okay, okay. We gotta do a little bit of cleanup. Clean up before we move on to the next step of this project. If you can clean up as you're working and building, it will hopefully make your life a little bit easier. Keyword is hopefully. I'm terrible at keeping things organized and cleaned, as some of my desks can attest to. Okay, something that's out of the way. I'm gonna go grab. I don't know. I want to have this higher so it just doesn't look super odd and weird. I'm gonna take this inner spot out a little bit. Okay. Move this out of the way. I'll mess with it another time. I was going to mess with the stream for a sec, but nope. Okay, glue gun. Hope everyone's having a good evening so far, and they've been enjoying themselves. I have been enjoying myself. I gotta make sure... Yes, I got one spot to plug this into. I am building... So I joined an art competition back in March, and I'm working on the piece for that. I have until the end of this month to get it done. So it's a diorama piece. It's supposed to be at least 2 minis, maximum 3. And just this piece here, this bit here, is what I had done and was going to submit. And I messaged the guy, and he's like, dead bodies count as terrain. And it was in the rules. I didn't fully read the rules. So I was like, oh, okay. So luckily enough, I was debating between using this piece. I was going to incorporate my test piece, but it didn't really work as well as I liked. So I luckily had this blade guard vet body, and I had put together the sword cleaning set. And I just finished painting and washing this guy to go with it. So now I'm moving on to the base. So it's going to sit like this from above. So this is already completed, and I have to try not to paint this. I got my glue gun heating up right now so that I can start gluing things down. And I've marked out where this guy sits. I can take him off the popsicle stick now at some point. I gotta find my drill, which I think is in my toolbox. And I'm going to use this terrain paint. It's like a very gritty paint. Normally I've used sand for this and then painted over it. I'm going to try this. and get this painted. So that is what we are building. Hopefully that answers the question. I've seen a few people use it, so I wanted to go with it. Oh. I think someone subbed. Every time someone subs, that little noise appears. Or at least a public sub. It always surprises me. I try to have... I gotta mess with stream and have it appear on chat. I gotta have chat appear on stream. It hasn't yet. So I gotta mess with it somehow. Stream Elements and YouTube don't really like talking with each other that much. I haven't used much of the Pro. Actually, this would be the first Pro acrylic product I've used. I've not used any of their paints before. I've heard good things about it. But that is it. I've stuck with using in between Army Painter and Citadel stuff. Noted. I will add that to my list of paints to grab. Actually, I do technically need a new white paint. I need a new red, basic blue, and white because my paints have gone chunky sitting in their thing. Let's see if I can find my little drill and my magnets. My drill is probably sitting on my desk right in front of my face and I don't realize it. I'm willing to try any paints or anything at some point. Is it on my desk? Can I? Yep. My drill's on my desk. This thing. This is what I'm looking for. Now I need the magnet. I'm trying to think what paint brands are actually at my local store. I know Army Painter, I know Citadel, Pro Acryl is there. I have two other new ones that I have not looked at names yet. I'm sure that's what I want to have. Let me get the magnets. I don't want the big ones. I want the... I don't want to have to grab a whole... I have these. Oh, what? Wait. Oh, no, that's my tweezers. My tweezers are stuck to it. I got those larger magnets, but it's not what I need. I need the other size that they come with. I know I have them somewhere. I either have another box or package I could open, but I had a couple just like sitting somewhere, and I thought I had them attached to a piece of metal. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the pots. I only use Citadel for their contrast paints. That has been the only... Okay, I do have brand new magnets. Yeah, I try to mix up what paints I use and all together. I've just stuck with Army Painter for the main reason being, and I'm sure Pro Acryl are the ones who do this, but it gives me a shade like thing, so it lets me know like what I have all like this, the green scale ones here, so I'm able to see like a darker paint to the next lighter paint, and for someone that likes to do a bit of shading, I can do it. But I love these tips. I will have to keep all this in mind next time I go. I recognize that paint name. That might actually be something they sell in my store. Okay, is this hot enough now? Yep, that's hot enough. Okay, before I damage my minis, I'm going to set these guys here. We'll remove these. I've heard good things about all the paint stuff. I just started with the Army Painter starter set because it came with a free brush and like minis and all that, and or just a mini, which is really not even painted. Fuck, I forgot which way these all set. Whatever. We'll just go with however it works. Okay, and then taking this. Oh, yeah, I started with like normal acrylic paints. God, I can grab my first ever model I painted with normal acrylic paint. And I should redo them. I'll grab them real quick. So like, yeah, I will probably stick with that rule as well of never repainting my first. But this isn't my first, but this was the second unit I bought. And I painted these guys with just store-bought hobby paints from like Marshalls and stuff. And yeah, they turned out good for what I had, but I definitely could have done better. Yes, it is a salamander that I initially painted. So I moved to Dark Angels now, but I started with salamanders, and that was the chapter that I wanted to make. Their scheme's based off of, I don't know if it's homebrew or if they're official. I think they're official, but the Iron Drakes, which is a Primaris successor chapter. The only thing I changed about that color scheme is the gold, because I wanted to consider the gold. I wanted to consider that being like, that's the Battle Brother. It's like a semi-rank, not pretty much like how they saw combat. That's how I was looking at it. Like they did something important, not sergeant level, but they're like higher than just a regular. So I said this earlier, and I don't mind repeating it now. No, not Neophyte. Because Neophyte is like a brand new... I think like the Neophyte is what the Scouts are. And I don't have that. Chester, I agree with you. I probably have too many armies as well. Anyway, the 4 Spree Spring chapters that I liked and wanted to start with was Salamanders, Dark Angels, Space Wolves, and Iron Warriors. And I wanted to make one chapter combining them all. And then eventually over time I just kind of found a chapter on like Warhammer 40k homebrew wiki. Okay. Well, that's good to know. So yeah, I guess Neophyte is what I was thinking of. This was in the beginning before I knew anything about how Space Marine hierarchy worked. But yeah, I wanted to combine those four together and make it be like a fleet-based chapter. They lost their home world, all this. And then I was just scrolling through the wiki on that. And then I found like, oh, there's a Dark Angel, there's a homebrew Dark Angel successor chapter that's blue and black, and I like sticking with that. That's a good list. Chester, did you get the new Space Wolf box by chance? I'm just asking out of curiosity, and also because I might grab mine. Okay. I've been chatting so much all of a sudden. Good on you for buying a house. I want to buy a house, but I spend too much on Warhammer. I bought the new Space Wolf box, and I want to build it at some point. I wanted to do a video on it, but I don't know. Me editing videos, it takes a bit. But you got two. I got it for the librarian, and I think it's the... I would consider them the Space Wolf Blade Guard. They're the guy with like the axe and stuff. The EC launch box. I don't know what EC means. But the next box Emperor's Children. Oh god. I need to learn like the lingo at some point. The next box I'm waiting for, and I already pre-ordered it from my local hobby store, and it won't be in until the end of the month, is the new Kill Team box coming out. I really want the Tyranids from that box. I want the terrain and the Tyranids. I thought about giving the servitors to a friend who's into the Mechanicus, but I don't think he's going to... I don't think he'll play, to be fully honest. So I'm okay with keeping them. And what I'll probably do is I might kit bash... I might kit bash, or I might add them to my guard army. Because currently I have 4 armies, 2 built, and 2 not built. I have over... I know I have over 100 models of Space Marine built, because I bought like some already built from someone, and then I built some more. And then I also have... I know I have 2 combat patrols for Space Marines. I have like dreadnoughts and other box like that. Anyway, besides that, I also have Custodes. That's the only 1,000-point army I have completed. But now I bought another 1,000 points that I'm going to add to them. I have a guard army. That's 1,000 points. I have a Tyranid army that is over 1,000 points. And I have 1 knight that I need to build at some point. And the hard part is I'm tempted to make more. What I should do is I should space out all my Space Marines and decide which ones are going to be the chapters I want. So these will be my Dark Angels, these will be my Salamanders, and these will be... I want to do Space Wolf because I have the Space Wolf box, but I'm not really into doing Space Wolf. I might just split those into my Dark Angel and Salamander one. Which knight? It is... I can't read it from here. Give me a sec. It's the something Rex. It's the one that you can build like 5 other knights from just one. That's what I want. Yes, the Canis Rex. I don't know if I'll ever join Chaos. So I do want to build a Chaos army. And that would be Iron Warriors. But I don't like all the models from Chaos. I would probably kit bash some Imperium and Chaos models together. I'm not going to disagree that the Chaos Knights don't look cool. But if I do Chaos, I'm doing Iron Warriors. So I guess, yeah, I would have a Knight. Maybe. I don't know. Okay, I'm just reading through chat. These are all really good suggestions, and I will be taking it. Honestly, Dark Angels and Salamanders fighting together could be difficult, but I could see it. If I do my Salamanders, I'm definitely doing this scheme. I might stick with gold, I might go back to it. I'm getting distracted by chat. You guys are distracting me, but it's okay. I'm okay with being distracted. I got this back kind of set up. Okay, I wanted this for this. So, talking about the Crusade books, I have 4. I have... I think I have Leviathan. I have Pariah Nexus. I have the one with the... Oh, they're a Chaos Band. God, they're dark purple gold. They got lightning on them. Why am I drawing a blank? Night Lords. I got the one with the Night Lords on them, and I bought the new Armageddon book. So I have 4, but I've not used a single one yet. Fair enough, I get it. This has like been a good chance for me to like talk about Warhammer, because I don't really have anyone to talk about Warhammer with. Like, I kind of do with my friends, but not the same amount. And you guys are more knowledgeable in Warhammer and stuff for me. I have learned quite a bit more. Yes, that's the book I'm talking about. I thought it was a Kill Team book for some reason, and then I realized, wait a minute, that is a Crusade book. So, yeah, I will definitely go through and make... You know, talking about Discord, I do have one. I decided to make a free Discord for anyone that was in this chat and wanted to, you know, kind of, I don't know, just be a part of the community. Let's see, get this paint off. I know I'm in the Discord for my local game store and all that, but I'm not really in it because I haven't read the rules and stuff. I know I'm in... Talk about Discord. Let me catch up with that. Let's see when me see. I know I'm in... What? It's like SCP 40K? Is that his name? Let me look him up real quick. Yeah, I'm in SCP-40K's Discord as well. I haven't really talked much in that. I could promote myself in that. He's got like a good promote yourself thing and all that, but I just kind of want to see how I do here. Okay, that's done. My next step I'm doing is I want to put a magnet on here and here so I can take him off and use him in games. But, you know, I have a free Discord for people to join. I have a list of rules. It's very small right now. I'm just starting things out. I thought about making it eventually and putting it behind a paywall. Then I realized, you know what? No, I want to build a nice community here. People can share their Warhammer knowledge or just lore in general. Make new friends and get to know each other. And post like other hobbies they're into. I've said this a couple times, but I want to get into cosplay a little bit. I've been reading the Eisenhorn books recently, and with the way he describes his outfits, I realize a lot of the clothes he's describing I could probably make because I have some stuff similar. Not that I have like the body armor and stuff like that, but like, oh, I have this like long coat. I have like XY things. I could do that. I definitely want to do more than just Warhammer. Or I want to do Warhammer, but I want to do more than just model building and painting on the channel. Okay. Yeah, that's how I kind of looked at it. Like, another hobby that I'm into, I haven't done it in a bit. And this is kind of why I like the salamanders is I'm into metalwork. I like blacksmithing and all that stuff. I started that. Outside of painting, building, and reviews, learn rules. Yeah, I guess that's... The Warhammer community has been very, like, nice. And what I've dealt with for Warhammer community has been very nice and friendly. I know that's not the case for everybody. But that's been my experience with it so far. But, yeah, like, other hobbies that I'm into, I like metalwork. Which is why I like the salamanders. I know the salamanders for Space Marines are kind of the good guys. I can do a little bit of woodwork. I don't really get much into it because I prefer the metalworking. I just like heating metal up and hitting it with a hammer. That's what it boils down to. Kind of a crappy part. Like, some bit of woodwork I did is I work for my parents in their business currently right now, hoping to be doing other things in the future. But I helped build our store, and sadly we lost it back in January. The thing burned down to what we think is like battery packs that caught fire, like for Milwaukee and stuff. So if you got like your battery packs plugged in and still charging, they're green, unplug them because they can catch fire, like the lithium batteries and all that. But I learned quite a bit of building and woodwork from that. Yeah, thank you for joining the Discord, and thanks for being here. I'm just going to call you Unknown because I don't know how to pronounce the first part. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And yeah, don't need to feel sorry about us, like, that burning down. It sucked. That was like the beginning of my 2025, and it's been up from here. Like, the channel here has been growing well. I've gone back into doing YouTube again and all that, and just taking a water break. Yeah, we're finding the good within the bad as well. Oh, wait a minute. Could I use one of those big magnets? Because I am going to put a layer of paint on. Okay. I have two decisions. I'm magneting the foot so I can take them off. The magnet's going to land here. I can put the paint... I can do a big magnet and then cover it in paint. Or I could do a bit of corkboard and put a magnet in that and then do the paint. Let me take one of these magnets and see how much it sits up. Yeah, I think I want to build another sword on the channel. Or, no, not on the channel, but I made a sword last year for the first time. No, long-term paint would not be good. What I wanted to see was, like, how much of a gap for myself it would be. I mean, my initial plan is just to cut into the base here because it's pretty thick and put the magnet down in there and then paint on top of it. Yeah, I got permission from a friend of mine. I used to have my metalworking stuff in his garage, but because he also uses his garage, I had to move my stuff out because, like, I want to work on it, but you have... He just moved to this place and he, like, runs a little farm, so he would have his bird cage here, farm equipment stuff stored in. So, that's a funny thing. I have not seen Forge and Fire. Every single person has asked if I've watched it. I have seen a couple clips and a couple episodes once because people mentioned it. But I've not actually watched Forge and Fire. I don't know if I'll ever sit down and actually watch it. What I used to watch, I'll have to, like, go to my subscriptions and find them. It's back in high school. It was a channel that did blacksmithing stuff. And they made a bunch of stuff from video games and movies and things like that. I'm going to quickly look it up. I don't know if they still post anything or not. So, bear with me. Bear with me while I try to find it. You know what I can look up? Nice. Let me search for this. The name of the channel is AWE Me. That was the name of the channel I used to watch quite a bit. Thank you for being here, Chester. Hopefully I'll catch you in the next one. They did make a. They did make the WoW. They made the Lich's sword from WoW. I know that's what the channel did. Hello there, Mongoose. How are you doing? God, I'm getting all this activity now, and I'm probably gonna be just ending in like the next half hour. I'm gonna feel bad about that. Is that the right way around? Nope. I gotta make sure I put the magnet on correctly. I've done that way too many times, just putting the magnet on the wrong side, and it screwed up my entire process in like building and stuff. Oh, in my kit bash video where I made a kind of kit bash. It was my attempt at doing kit bash, where I made a Judiciar, and I never went by Swampy King, but I went by Swampert King. So, yeah, that was my name. I used to do a lot more gaming back then, but I wanted to change the name to something more fitting what I was doing on the channel, which is why I changed to the Swampcraft. I still go by that name on like other accounts. I'm never going to give that name up on like Discord or on Steam. But yeah, I gave it up on here. Yeah, I kind of realized I did not enjoy doing the gaming as much. I had fun with it with my friends, but it was, I don't know, a constant thing I did. Oh god, I don't remember. My memory's bad. I'm going to attempt a kit bash and... Ooh, that sounds like a fun kit bash. An Eternal and a Kroot. Yeah, as I was saying, I tried to kit bash... I wanted to, like, get a Judiciar, but they're so expensive to buy singly, and you can buy it a part of this whole pack on GW, but... I just thought it was cheaper to go buy a chaplain and then get the Black Templar upgrade stuff and use their sword, and that's how I made one. And then I had a spare shield from my it's a Dark Angel box. Is their special Terminators. And that's how I made that. I'm trying to think back, like, on the names. I was gonna say the only people I still keep in touch with from the gaming times is like who I was friends with in real life. Unless you're thinking back to when like Proxy Amy was on the channel. God, that is a name I've not said in a long time. I think that's set. Yeah, that's how it needs to be set. I might have to do... Oh, I wonder if I can just drill a little bit more. It's not the proper drilling tool. Just try and get the hole better. Oh, God. Oh, yeah. I do remember... some of the people. God, I haven't talked to those people in so long. I have a slight, like, up... I don't know. I try not to think back on her very much. That was a very weird time for me. I wish her the best, is what I'll say. Her, him, them, whatever they go by now. That was... Yeah, that was a lifetime ago. Restart that. Okay. God, I gotta keep moving my mouse around. I'm almost like clicking on other things. Let's see if I can throw some... Just a drop. No, that's way too much. I should have just done super glue instead of hot glue. Wow, it is stringy as hell. Okay, I'm just gonna do that. Maybe I can add a... I don't think that's gonna stay the way I hoped. Damn, good for you. I am doing well. I'm doing well for myself personally. Damn it, I went up with it. Oh. Yeah, I know. I don't have any... None of my friends have kids. I got some friends that are married now. I have two friends engaged. One of my best friends is engaged. Another one... one set of my friends are now married. Other than that, none of us have kids, and none of us have really ever gotten married yet. I am happily single still, I would say. I've not had luck in that department, nor do I think I want to continue with that. Okay. This is probably not going to work the way I hope. God, this has to be like weird for people who watch the VOD back and hear all like this information. Okay. So that will sit there. Sweet. Turn it up this way a little bit for you guys. That is coming along good. They should have been. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that, Noble Wolf Gaming? Because I'm a little bit lost. Oh, okay, fair enough. Now I get it. Yeah, they they definitely should be here for the stream. Eventually, I'll get chat to appear up. I do this as a hobby. I got into this about a year ago. I don't have a website that I sell anything on. At least none of these miniatures. This is for like a tabletop wargaming thing I'm into. It's called Warhammer. To sum up Warhammer. Simply, it's an advanced game of chess. That is the simplest way I will summarize it. I got into it by watching lore videos. Then I bought some models, and now I'm $1,000 in debt. Not really in debt, but I've spent thousands of dollars into this hobby. And I have enjoyed every second of it. Eventually, I think I will make stuff to sell online. Like I was saying earlier, I am into blacksmithing, so I might start making small items to sell. I did before, but I could never really figure out what I wanted to make or do. I want to make a couple purity seals for myself. Like I want to make some like wax seal stamps. And I know people sell them on Etsy, but I want to make some and just... If I open a Patreon, maybe it'd be a thing that people can, like, when they join the first tier, it's what they get as a thank you for joining. Or just other things like that. I'm not really sure. I do want to open my own, like, craft business. Like, I want to get into prop making. And this is how it started, but I just haven't done much more with it. Like, I want to make a short film at some point, and I just have to do it. I would definitely upload that on a second channel, which I already have. I'll probably have to change the name of that one. I think that one is full. That one's called like Swamper Productions. I might change that one to Swamp Productions. It's like the same exact image as this one, but yeah, if I do like any full video length stuff, that's what I'm going to upload it to, not this channel. I want to keep this one just for I look at it, this one's like the behind the scenes, how everything's built and made, and then that one, whenever it gets uploaded or made, is everything you see normally. So I don't have a better spreading tool for this material besides a popsicle stick, but it works. I don't know if there's like a proper brush or something you're supposed to use when you spread the stuff, or if you're supposed to use like a really cheap brush. Good to know that you're a banker. I appreciate the vote and confidence, and that's what I try to live by, is like, if I have a dream, just go do it. That's why I'm on here doing this stuff. I always make excuses for myself to be like, I don't have enough time to do this and that. Like, if I wasn't streaming, I'd like to think I'd be editing a video to upload to here. I definitely have an idea for a... I got into analog horror a little bit recently, and I think it'd be easy to do one. All that. I don't know what you mean by AK stuff. Once people like unabbreviate things for me, yeah, I understand why it's abbreviated that way, but it takes me a bit to understand what the abbreviation is. I know I reached out to like a non-profit film thing, see if they want help. Initially they said yes, but I've not heard anything back from them with that. So I just gotta do my own thing. But yeah, I appreciate the vote and confidence in thinking I'd be a good businessman. I've worked in retail for the past 6 years. What is the name of the past? I feel like I'm still confused. Name of the past, like... I'll give you a second to clarify again. Because I'm sure it is pertaining to what I've been talking about. I just am losing track, I guess, on where we're at with it. Or the pieces aren't coming together clearly enough. Okay, I'm trying not to get pain in my hand. This is actually looking pretty cool so far. And I think I have to keep it a little bit off until I get there properly. I thought about for like one analog horror video trying to somehow make it be like a Gene Stealer themed video, but I'm like, how would that work? Oh, the gray paste. Oh, you're fine. I'm using it's a Pro Acryl, like, terrain paint is what I'm using. I thought I said pass. No, paste. Paste makes sense. Paste. I think I'm slightly dyslexic and I don't know it. I know I mess up that word. Yeah, it's a Pro Acryl product. Normally what I would have done is I would have put down a lot of super glue and sprinkled sand on top, then spray painted it. That's what I did for this piece here. But I got this product just to test out and see how it worked. And going over to these models here, the bases of these guys have that Pro acrylic stuff. Hey, you don't need to apologize for being dyslexic and have fat fingers. I have fat fingers as well. My friends make fun of my sausage fingers. Out of all of them, I have. That's what you meant. Okay. Now now the pieces are coming together. I didn't know that was a product. I'm still learning all the new... Because I'm still new to the hobby, I'm learning like all the other material names people use things, or call things. So, no, it's not that. I don't think that is for sale at my local store. I just wanted to... Oh. Why is it saying stream's going to end shortly? No, okay, there we go. Hey, we're in the same boat, because I've been doing this for just over a year. I've literally been in this hobby for like a year. Or just about. I consider like January my 1 year mark. I got into this hobby by watching Izander and Coda videos. And I knew once I walked into a Warhammer store and bought my first model, it was downhill from there. I knew that was going to be the case, so I tried for a long time not to go to a store. And the closest official Warhammer store for me is an hour away, but then a buddy of mine was like, hey, let's go check out this store in this place. I almost said its name. Turns out it's 30 minutes from where I live. At least now it's 30 minutes. Yeah, I haven't gone into the Star Wars Legion stuff. The guy I bought my first set of minis from was talking about the Star Wars stuff. But I have to let this paint dry. But I really don't want to end stream quite yet. But it does have to sit and dry. I don't know. This is probably a good stopping point, if any. Even though I don't want to, because I am enjoying this, but I should really go to bed. Get a hairdryer. I could borrow my sister's, but I do have work in the morning, and I gotta get some rest. I was gonna be like, if I work on anything, I can do my friend's Chaos Marines for a little bit. But I should also focus on like a full stream for those as well. And I gotta clean brushes and stuff. So, I don't know. I think I am gonna call it here. I hope everyone watching enjoyed the stream. I had a fun time being here. Normally I'm here with... Oh. Yeah, I'm going to go to sleep, so I'll finish things here. Normally I'm here with a couple of my buddies. I'm kind of happy this solo stream went pretty good. But I'm planning on doing the next one Saturday. I might make that one a game stream, but I'm not really feeling like it should be a game stream. I want to continue doing this painting hobby stuff. I'll work on this on my own a little bit. But yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed. Thank you for entertaining me, and thank you for letting me entertain you. And I want everyone to go out there and make something awesome, because I know you will.